More on the newly revealed text messages between NFL Hall of Famer Brett Favre and Mississippi's former governor that are raising questions about an investigation into the misuse of government welfare funds. Joining us now, reporter for Mississippi Today, Anna Wolf. She's been at the forefront of this story from the beginning. Anna, thanks so much for being here with us. For people who are just now kind of catching up to or tuning into this story, take a step back for us on how this all began with Southern Mississippi, University of Southern Mississippi, wanting a new volleyball facility. Brett Favre's daughter played volleyball at Southern Mississippi. He thought he could help, but not with any of the some $140 million he earned during his NFL career, but with welfare funds.
So back in 2017, Brett Favre had this idea of building a new volleyball stadium at USM, and he was trying to find money from different sources and somehow got connected with the welfare department. He was good friends with Phil Bryant before that, so we're still trying to kind of piece together, how he ended up having this conversation with the head of the welfare department and this nonprofit founder, Nancy New. When he met with them, they immediately committed $4 million out of this welfare fund to build the volleyball stadium. And to get the project really rolling, they kind of had to get the governor on board. And the text messages that we revealed this week show sort of how that process went.
And Elise, you're a native of Mississippi, as our viewers know. As I said earlier, poverty is the highest in the country in that state. Welfare money obviously critical to helping people survive.
No, Willie, and Anna's reporting has just been jaw-dropping, and it wouldn't have frankly happened if she hadn't been willing to probe so many government documents, push for so many documents to be released to the public. You really have just been indefatigable. You've just been so incredible here, Anna. What can you tell us about how this is going forward with the FBI investigating? Is anything happening there?
So we do know that the FBI is investigating for the last 2 years. We know that they met with Favre at one point back early in the beginning after 6 people were arrested in 2020. But, as this has just been unfolding, the main players of this scheme, namely Phil Bryant and Brett Favre, have sort of tried to make excuses for their involvement. So Favre, obviously is connected to this volleyball stadium, but he says he didn't know the money came from welfare. I think these text messages will be interesting to investigators because they show, a little bit more of that intentionality. There was even a text from Brett Favre that asked the nonprofit founder, is there any way that the media can find out where this money came from and how much if you give it to me?
That's just
so that
incredible.
Kind of shows where shows where their head was at in terms of taking.
One of these texts that was made public from Favre to Miss New, who you mentioned with that nonprofit, was, Nancy, Santa came today and dropped some money off. Thank you. My goodness. Thank you. We need to set up the promo for you soon. You are way too kind, wrote Brett Favre. So you started to answer my question, but where does this go from here? Who's going to be prosecuted, if anyone? Who's in trouble?
Yeah, so I mean, the feds are pretty tight-lipped about how this investigation is going, but we know that the Biden administration has just appointed this new U.S. attorney in this district, and he'll inherit the program. He comes from public integrity, so in terms of the people who would be looking into this case, he's quite a pick for inheriting this investigation. I think it's important to note, that they knew that they couldn't just embezzle this money and put it to the volleyball stadium. So they had to come up with this explanation for why welfare money would legitimately go to build this volleyball stadium. They said that the nonprofit was going to be providing services there, which just kind of goes to show how lax these federal rules are, that they could skirt the regulations, skirt the prohibition on using welfare for construction projects by just saying it would help someone in poverty.
Well, and Anna, an amazing stat. You said last night that only about 200 adult Mississippians are receiving these federal welfare dollars. I would have assumed that 200 individuals would have received that in just my home county. So why is the money, federal money, why is it not getting to Mississippians who need it?
Right. So, I mean, the federal government is allowing this to happen. The federal government has such lax rules around how this money is spent that it allows states to spend it however they wish, basically. There's $16 billion nationally still across the country, a lot of which is not being used on evidence-based practices for disrupting poverty. You know, Nancy New and Phil Bryant, they could have spent every dollar here perfectly legally and still never helped anyone. And that's a systemic problem. That's a welfare program that doesn't actually prioritize the end result, you know, someone leaving poverty. That's not what the program looks at. The program sort of prioritizes this notion that people in poverty just need to, you know, get a pep talk from Brett Favre in order to escape poverty. That it prioritizes that over actual outcomes.
And almost 1 in 5 people in Mississippi live in poverty. Reporter for Mississippi Today, Anna Wolf, just doing extraordinary reporting, bringing all of this to light. Thanks so much for bringing it to us, Anna. We appreciate it. Mika.